CYC is a free channel that presents the Word of God for everyone. Your support will help us to continue the mission. Visit our website, cycnow.com. Even $1 will make a difference.
You don't have to be the supervisor in your college to be a leader. You could be a friend, and you still need to be a leader within this cycle of friends. You don't have to be a chief of section in a hospital, but you could be a doctor, but you will still need to be a leader. And leadership needs to grow as early as your age. And because of that, we need to demonstrate for you, instill in you, who are the leader, what is the leader, as you have heard from the prior lecture. You will hear this time the qualities of the leader, and then the other 3 lectures that you will hear later on tomorrow. So in this picture that you see some of those figures that could be leaders. Do you recognize any names? Anyone? Steve Jobs. What else? Pope Shenouda. I can't hear very well, but Pope Benedict? No, he is not Tutankhamun. He is actually Joseph the Pharaoh. So let's see. I'm going to discuss these qualities, 9 qualities. First, to be a leader, you need to have responsibility and commitment, delegation and how to develop a teamwork, planning, courage, time management, role model, visionary, humility, assertiveness. And what I did is I took the 2 stories of Nehemiah and Joseph, and I tried to find in them how they were leaders in their own time. So, Nehemiah, by the way, was not a priest, was not a rabbi, was not in charge of the temple, but he was a leader because he was responsible. So what happened is, some people came to him and told him, have you heard? The walls of Jerusalem are burnt, and the whole thing is in desolation. So he said, okay, we have to do something. Why? Why should you be doing something? You are not a priest, you are not the king, you are not the manager, you are not the rabbi, you are not the Pharisee, you are just a simple cup bearer to the king. He will basically the waiter, the special waiter to the king. So if anyone wants to poison the king, he has to taste the drink first. If he dies, then the king doesn't die. He must be the most trusted person to the king. But he was responsible about people miles and miles away. So to be a leader, the first thing, you need to feel responsibility towards actions or people or occasions or events around you. The second point, one of the qualities of a leader, how to do planning and how to manage. What happened to Nehemiah, once he heard that he has this responsibility, he started planning. And the first action in planning, he stood up and prayed and said, I pray and be attentive to the prayer of your servant and to the prayer of your servants who desire to fear your name, and let your servant prosper this day. I pray, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man, for I was the king's cupbearer. What is in the sight of this man? Who is the man? He's asking God, give me prosperity Give me grace in the sight of the man. Who's the man? The king. Very good. So not only he felt responsible, and he's acting responsible, but next is he started planning. And the first thing he planned, he prayed. I want to ask you a question, and please, if you want to answer, please raise your hand. Roslyn or Maria will bring you the microphone. How is planning in your own age, high school, teenage, be an important character for a leader? Give me examples within your age, in your age, of how planning is a character, a quality that need to be developed in a leader. Sarah, can you pass the microphone?
You need leadership, especially in high school, because in high school you have a lot of like ethnicities and different groups of people, so you need to be able to like control yourself because they're going to tempt you to do stuff or like.
Excellent answer to a different question. I'm asking, that's excellent question, excellent answer to why leadership is important in high school. I love that. But can you add, while you have the microphone, where is planning falls in this part? Give me an example while you are in the high school realm, in school, in church, high school, in relations, and how's planning could, give it to Anthony, please. How's planning is important in your time area? Yes?
As an adolescent, you should probably be learning how to live your life properly, like college prep and what you want to be when you're older.
Perfect. So, you know what? In the next few weeks, we are preparing a college fair. If you are a high schooler and you have no idea how to plan for college applications, how to plan and how to lead your group and how to tell people, this is number one, we are going to get the application done. And after the application, we are going to write the personal statement. And as soon as we get the personal statement, I want to pass it to this person who is an English major. I want him to check it for me. I'm going to call 4 of my so trusted teachers because I want those 4 teachers to send their recommendation letters very early on. Then I'm going to give to the teacher these number of colleges who I'm interested in. Boston University, Rockefeller, whatever. You are planning. But you say, you know what, I'm not sure. When time comes, and when time comes, you are taken for, all of a sudden, the time has passed, and you are not able to plan for the next step. Let's see what Nehemiah did next. Nehemiah not only prayed, but he acted as far as planning. So what he did is, he decided in his journey from all the way east to go down to his country in Jerusalem to build the temple of Jerusalem or the walls of Jerusalem, he will pass through many of the smaller towns. So he said, you know what? I need visa for each country. And I need passes. And the only way to do that, I'm going to request from the king, give me permits in order for me to go through these countries. Not only this, I need also wood and iron and nails and workers. So I'm going to ask the king for this. Look at what he's doing. He has a task, building the walls. As soon as he gets the task, he starts breaking it into plan of action. We can say, you know what, we want to buy a new church. Okay, fine, how? Are we going to search the internet? Are we going to get real estate? Maybe another person should check if we have loans or not. Can we get permission from other churches to build a church here? The planning is so important in the leadership mind, and Nehemiah was good at it. He prayed, asking for visas or permits from the king, asking for materials to be ready to be shipped to the area where he's going to build. Okay, let me ask you another question. What does delegation means? And I think Marianne will cover it in the next lecture as well, but can we just pass it to, okay, Mira, okay.
Delegation is like breaking up certain jobs and giving them to like certain people.
Breaking it into certain jobs and allocate it to that person, okay? Any other person. So what if I allocated it to Michael and then Michael decided not to do it? Is that delegation? I give it to Andrew and Andrew did not come through. Anton.
I think delegation means like someone is able to do the task and is willing to do it in great manner.
So in delegation, the leader not only will give away the responsibility, he want to ensure that the responsibility is being followed, and that person who is taking over that part of the responsibility is going to carry it. Let me give you an example. Say I am a leader in this meeting. I asked Olivia to be in charge of the workshops. But Olivia didn't come. It's my responsibility. Because not only she did not come, I did not give plan B if Olivia should not come. So now the workshops will not be done. Do you see why delegation? But let's say, you know what, I'm worried that Olivia will not come. So what I decided, Uncle Hani will do the workshops, and he will do the lectures. And maybe Abuna will not come, he will do the liturgy. And who knows, maybe the electrician will not come, so he will do the cameras and the video and the lights. All of a sudden, none of these jobs will be done right. Because there is no way I could take care of all these issues or these problems. So delegation is important, but carrying the responsibility and following who is taking care of that problem is as important. Let's see what Nehemiah did. What Nehemiah did is very interesting. He had two main jobs, building and defending. Building the walls. But there are a lot of enemies out there that they are trying to make this project not succeed. Because to them, if the Israelites the Jews start to build, that means they will falter, they will have a problem. So he made a very nice job. Look at this verse, Nehemiah 4. Which the other held a weapon, every one of the builders had his sword girded at his side as he built, and the one who sounded the trumpet beside me. So what he did is, people are holding the weapons. Another group are building and putting the cement and the stones and things like this. And there is a third person next to him with a trumpet. Why do you think there is a person next to him with a trumpet? Yes? Can you pass the mic 1 second? Sandra, still remember what you said. Say it again.
Because if he sees somebody's actually attacking them, so he will go.
Excellent. The trumpet, Nehemiah cannot see, build, defend, and do everything. So what he did is, there is a group of builders, a group of defenders, but there is also a group of watchers. Because maybe somebody will sneak and will come, and we need the people who are defending here to catch up with the war or the battle that just started here. So if he finds that there is a war here, he goes there and blow the trumpet so everybody goes to this side. Number 4. One of the qualities of a leader is really courage. Why a leader need to have courage? Yeah, Habibti.
Because if the leader doesn't have courage, then everyone else is going to be like scared and like...
Okay. Okay, 25% success in this question. Okay, Verena?
A leader needs to make unprecedented moves towards better expanding their situations, I guess. So like Nehemiah, for example, like he, like, no one really expected to build a wall, and, like, basically, like, everyone was making fun of it, but he, like, stayed firm in, like, what he believed in.
Beautiful. Very nice. Other answers? Courage. You need to sit here. Any other answers to the courage? In Nehemiah's story, does anyone remember where he was courageous as far as leadership is concerned? Let's see. The first courageous act when the... You want to answer? Okay. When the king said to me, "What do you request?" Can you imagine he's going to the king and he looked a little depressed because he's worried about the walls of Jerusalem are not built. So the king told him, the king could have killed him because the king, all what he wants is just his drink and enjoy his time. When he sees a depressing man bringing his wine, that's not very nice. But the king asked him, "What do you ask? What do you request?" So he prayed. So I prayed to God to the heaven. This took 10% of a second, millisecond. Said, "God, please help me." And then he answered and said, "If it pleases the king, if your servant has found favor in your sight, I ask that you send me to Judah, to the city of my father's tombs, that I may rebuild it." By the way, rebuilding the city could be basically against the rules of the king. He would have chopped his head right there. So there is a lot of courage in him actually sticking to to what he plans to do. Let's see what else he did. When his enemies start attacking him, he actually placed the people. Look at this. "From whatever I place your turn, they will be upon us. Therefore, I positioned men behind the lower parts of the wall at the openings." The courage is, as a leader, you in your own little rank, high school, there are things you need to defend. You may defend your purity. You may defend your opinion. You may defend your virtues and values. But you need to be courageous, because when you defend them, I, who is a follower, will say, "Wow, Maria said no to something I would be scared to say no to. You know what? I'm going to follow Maria." Andrew just said no to something that would have been easily dragged the whole group with us. Because Andrew said no, all of us will follow Andrew. It was courageous because he said no when everybody's saying yes. And he opposed the general sort of majority. By the way, not always the majority is right. A lot of times the majority is not right. Okay. Joseph the Pharaoh, Joseph from the Old Testament, was also courageous. When Pharaoh had a dream, and he was supposed to be the dream interpreter, rather than he would say, "Yes, I have this talent, and I could explain it to you," and he will get the favor right away. He said, Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, "It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace." Can you imagine you are in a position? Let me give you this scenario. You are in school. 5 of you decided to cut class. They said, next period, we are not attending. Are you coming? So you said, that's it. You didn't know what to say. You're afraid to go with them, but you're afraid not to go with them, because if you don't go with them, you will be an outcast and they will not go out with you. And maybe they are smoking a new smoke, and for change you want to try or see how that smoke looks like. And so all of a sudden, you are in a wishy-washy situation. I cut school, I cut period or I don't cut the period. I cut the class or I don't attend. And all of a sudden, you are facing with a position, should I make a stand or not? As a leader, you need to have some bravery. You need to know when to say no, how to say no, and to whom to say no, if no is the right answer. If you are always a yes man, you are going never to be a leader, and that will be discussed in a different lecture. You are always a follower. But every one of us can be and should be and will be a leader. So a simple example as the one I said, say, no man, I can't go. Wow, what's wrong with you? I mean, I'm not going to cut school. Because by you not cutting school, you stood up. Maybe there was a third person, number 3 in the group, was hoping to have one more person to say no, for him or her to say, you know what, I'm not going also, I want to stay with him. And right away, you became a leader for this person. It needs courage. You will be harassed. You could be harassed, although a lot of times they will just leave you alone. But even if you hear one word here or another, you became a leader in the eyes of some of those need to be following the correct leader. Number 5. One of the qualities for a leader is time management and priorities. What do you think of that? How is that in your own turf? Prioritizing, time management. Tell me about your life and how is that important to be a leader with that quality. I need new people who haven't answered. That's okay. Thank you, Rosalind. Other people think while she is about to respond.
Like you time manage your life, so you separate each time for certain things, so you know where you need to be at certain times. Like this time I'm going to be at quiet time, like this time I have school, and then I have sports, and you divide your life into certain parts because there's those kids where it all becomes one big stressful like mess, and then that's where they lose it, and then that's when it all goes downhill, and you don't know what's important anymore, so you just give up.
Great. Any other answer?
I think this goes back to the point you made about organization, because it's supposed to get together, and like if people see that you're organized and you have your priorities straight and you know exactly what to do, then they're also going to like follow you because they know you're doing the right thing.
Each one of us have 3 baskets. Not important and not urgent. A couple of baskets. Important and urgent but not important. And the 4th, not important but urgent. So the first one, this is important and urgent. And the last one, it's neither important nor urgent. And in between, maybe important but not urgent, or urgent but not important. I'll give you examples. I have a birthday to attend on Tuesday. I have an exam on Sunday. And today is Saturday. What is the most important and urgent? Yes?
The exam.
Exam, Tuesday. So this is what I did. The whole Saturday, I looked for a gift for the birthday on Monday. Then Sunday, I went to the church. I returned back 1 p.m. and I decided it's very late, so I start studying. And Monday, I spent the whole day in the birthday after school, of course, and I went to the exam not prepared. So, if you are a leader and the people are following you, you would have said, the first basket is important and urgent, Tuesday, exam. Let me be prepared for this. I must get a gift that's important but not urgent. So you know what? I'm going to study the whole Saturday morning, And for 2 hours in the afternoon, I'll go and pick up a gift and come back and finish whatever I have to do. Sunday, I have to go to church. When I come back Sunday, that's important and urgent. Then I come back and finish whatever work. Monday, I attend the birthday because that became important but not urgent. And on Tuesday, I do good in the exam. The other people, when they call you, hey, what happened, Marina? Are you going out to pick up a gift for Mary? No, I'm studying. What? But right away you tell them, listen guys, we can pick up the gift at 2 p.m. Let us all study for now because Tuesday will come soon than you think. You think they still have Sunday and Monday, but remember, Sunday is half of it is gone. Monday is all school and then we have a birthday. And right away you prioritize, right away you managed your time. And more importantly, you showed a leadership skill or a quality that made others say, I'm going to do what Marina said. Let's see what Joseph did. Nehemiah. Nehemiah also managed and prioritized. Then I said to the nobles and the rulers and the rest of the people, the work is great and extensive, and we are separated far from one another on the wall. Wherever you hear the sound of the trumpet, rally to us there. Our God will fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of the men held the spears from daybreak until the stars appeared. He made there is time to rest, time to defend, and time to work, and so on. Number 6, question. Number 6 is role model. In your own opinion, you are a leader and you are 16 years old. How can a role model be an important quality by which you lead? Role model as a quality of a leader or absence of is a bad quality of a leader. What do you guys think? Let me give you an example. Yes.
As a leader, people are going to be looking up to you, which being a role model is. So especially if at our age, with younger people, they look towards us more than say to their parents who are much older than them. So we have to make sure that we're being good role models for them.
Thank you. Let us say the rule for the retreat, regardless if you agree or not, you are convinced or not, is to not have a cell phone in the retreat. We can argue this point, but to tell you the truth, we have been doing this retreat for many years, and thank God it has been working. You decided to be a leader, so you told 3 of your guys, you think they are really serious about that? They would never send us home. So you convinced the other 3 to keep their phones, and you told the servant that we do not have phones, or you had a broken phone that you throw in her bag, and you kept the real phone, so whatever, for any reason. What happened is there was a 4th person in your group that he really wanted to give his phone. But you are the leader. But you are not a good role model. So he kept the phone, but he felt very guilty because he's lying and he's breaking a couple of rules. And at the end of the day, he leaves the retreat and he feels very bad that he followed you who has a phone and think we do not know. Or you think that you became a leader and you are able to make everybody follow you, but follow you in a wrong way. Another example. I used to know a girl, not from this church. She was a high school girl. Her best friend, and she was really a bossy friend, if you know what I mean, likes to cut classes, and she follows a couple of other senior girls and one boy, and they go to drink. This is a true story, by the way. Very true story. So I, the 11th grade girl, I am a follower, but it happens that my leader does not have the best ethical mode or the best ways to lead me, but because I am a yes girl, I followed. But I'm talking about me now. I'm the bad leader. And this has happened. We went out to drink at 3 p.m. Everybody think we are still in class because they're after school. By 5 p.m., one of my followers, the girl I told you about, is completely drunk. And she is vomiting very bad. Ambulance comes, take her to the nearest hospital. Mom comes, and she knew that her daughter was drinking. And then the daughter had to admit that I was following Miss So-and-so, who was really told me that it's quite cool. Look at you guys, you are the leader. If you really want to be a good leader, you better be resembling Christ. Even if you are in secular world, I'm not talking even in church. You are in school, you are in work, you are working in Dunkin' and Donuts. And you know that the leader, the supervisor of the whatever that called, the couple of hours that you're working in, he takes a couple of dollars every time the machine does not register it, and he put it. And he tells you, hey man, take this dollar. He is a bad leader, but you're also a sheep. In other words, regardless of where you are, guys, a leader must have ethics and role model. Look at what Nehemiah did. Nehemiah could have said, listen guys, I don't belong to this environment. This is really garbage for them. I'm coming from the palace. You want me to sleep here, and I can't bathe, and I have to work, and I have to do all of this, and I don't eat. I was the cupbearer. I was the trustee of the king. But look at this verse. So neither I, my brethren, my servants, nor the men of the guard who followed me took off our clothes, except that everyone took them off for washing. He was like everybody else. When people saw Nehemiah fasting, praying, working, defending, not sleeping, but really working, not taking off his clothes except just for wash, meaning he does not sleep, he does not take time off, right away they said, we are going to follow the leader. Guys and girls, in your young age, if you want to be uniquely identified, not just as he's one of a crowd, you must show your individuality. You don't laugh when everybody laughs, unless it is really jokeful. You don't do the thing that everybody does because everybody does it. You are a role model. Make me follow you correctly, because you are following Christ. Imitate me as I imitate Christ. Resemble me as I resemble Christ. Nehemiah was told that people are coming to kill him. So some of his friends, the followers, told him, hey man, you are the leader. You must flee. You must escape. You must hide. And they told them, go to the temple and hold on the temple horns in order for you not to be killed. Because if you are holding on the altar, no one can touch you. So I came to the house of Shemaiah, the son of Deliah, the son of whoever, and who was a secret informer. And he said, let us meet together in the house of God within the temple, and let us close the doors of the temple, for they are coming to kill you. Indeed, at night they will come to kill you. And I said, the leader said, Should such a man as I flee? And who is there such as I who would go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in. So if he fled, the walls would not be built. But he stood his grounds. Okay, I want you to have the microphone, please, if it's available. And tell me what is visionary for any of these pictures. Vision is number 7. The whole lecture is 9. So visionary is one of the qualities of a leader. This picture of Pope Shenouda, where was he visionary as a leader? How he was visionary? How did he have a vision, a clear mission? You guys should be very proud that you lived in an era, in a generation, where Pope Shenouda was called your Pope. There will be 100 years from now, when none of us will be alive, that people will be talking about this generation, the generation of Pope Shenouda, I assure you. It's going to be similar, if not more, than Saint Athanasius' era. So, vision of Pope Shenouda. Okay, I'll start until you think. Yes?
Thanks to him, I think every continent has, or every country has a Coptic Orthodox Church.
Beautiful. And every continent too. You were right. Okay, Myrna in the front. Thank you, Rosalind.
He was attacked a lot by a lot of people, and he knew how to deal with it.
So although he was attacked, he did not waver and he continued to do what his vision was. Other points about his vision? Yes.
He was very pivotal in starting the independence of Egypt and
Sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Pivotal in starting the independence of Egypt and the Copts from the whole not the Copts but the country. He 10% that was the Coptic Christian. He showed that they're very strong and that they can shift the whole country, and that they're not just because they're minority doesn't mean that their ideas are.
Beautiful. Very nice. Excellent answers. The visionary Pope Shenouda. Any other points? Yes, Verena. Sorry, okay, one more. Yes.
He extended the whole system of Sunday schools and allowed for more monasteries in America.
Beautiful. He was thinking that the youth are the real men, Verena please, of the church, and he was really ready to embrace us with bishops and good priests and as you said, sermons and books for us to equip us to be what we are today. Yes? Beautiful answers. So all of this are a leader quality, being a visionary. Yes?
He also wrote books to inspire people, to make them
Beautiful. He inspired people with his poems, with his books. Okay, great. Let's move to another person. Pope Francis. Pope Francis is also a visionary. Can you comment on this? Anyone knows somewhat about him? Anton?
Well, back in Google 2, when I was seeing history, he said that every pope used to have a very orange suit when they become a pope of, the new pope of the Catholic Church. But Pope Francis used a normal garment, a priest garment, so he used humility, except of being vain and being modern.
Beautiful. So Pope Benedict, for the first time, we're seeing a Catholic priest really coming to earth, very humble, looking at the poor, coming in a nondescript Ford, I'm not sure what type of car, but nothing really fancy, not surrounded by all these people, and looking after every single one with a vision that he wants to unite his church together. What about this man, Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs. What is visionary about this man?
He created Apple.
He created Apple. So, keep going. Okay. Just pass the mic and then to the front. After you finish in the front. Yes?
He understood the needs of the market and what consumers want, and in turn he produced what would sell. So he understood, he had a clear-cut vision about what consumers want to buy.
Okay, Dora.
He inspired other projects, like not necessarily just for Apple, like maybe sometimes Windows would copy off of them.
Beautiful. Excellent. Not only he had a vision for his own company, but people were intrigued by him, were stimulated by him, and all the industry is mobilized because of this man. And by the way, he created countless number of jobs up till now. Yes?
I have another point too. This man, I heard a speech by him, and he said his life story in like 25 minutes. He didn't, like at the beginning of his life, he didn't know what to do. He had no vision whatsoever. But by letting chance and by letting God lead his life, even though he didn't believe in God, but like he did correct choices. He created Apple. He created these things, and then he even lost these things at points of his life. And then he went on and kept on moving on and on and on. If you have hard work and you really toil, you really gain something in the end, regardless of the obstacles that you might be facing.
And you all know that he was suffering from pancreatic cancer. So it wasn't exactly the most walk in the park kind of leadership. Okay, this man also was Joseph, the Pharaoh. He had also a vision. How can I save not only Egypt, but the whole world? 7 years are coming of famine, are going to come after 7 years of prosperity. And basically what he did, he planned ahead, he stored food, and he saved the world from so many hardship could have come. Number 8, assertiveness. Assertiveness is one of the most important qualities for a leader. A wishy-washy, a yes leader who accepts everything without questioning is not a good leader. But a leader who is assertive really is important. And that's why Joseph was so strict, assertive, when he had the 7 years of prosperity. He could have said, eat and have merry and enjoy, and we have a lot of food. He would have not stored anything. And the famine and the poverty would have extended even worse to the whole world. So by him being extending his assertiveness, he was able to save everybody. Finally, number 9 is the humility. A leader, sometimes, all of us are leaders, all of you are good leaders, but you need to know your qualities. One of the things, don't ever be prideful. Don't boast because people are following you. Think this is a responsibility. It's a job that you need to make sure you don't do bad thing in. Remember, Joseph, in spite of his fame and rank, and he became the second man in the world, not just in Egypt. He was the second man in the world. He was giving all the prosperity and credit to God. And when his brothers came down to him, were very scared that he will kill them, he told them, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good in order to bring it about. It is this day to save many people alive. So these are the 9 qualities. There may be more, you may think some of these are not qualities, but something else which will be discussed tomorrow. But at the end, I'll summarize what we discussed today. So the leader's qualities were responsibility and commitment, delegation and developing teamwork, planning, courage, time management and prioritize, role model, visionary, humility, assertiveness. I end by saying this. Do not underestimate your ability to lead your family, your church, your class, your hospital, your school, your many, many things in the future. Every one of us is equipped with the leadership skills. And more so, the Holy Spirit gives you the wisdom by which you could become the real leader. Glory be to God forever. Amen.